This is my neighbor Tom, and he recently picked up this old camper right here that hasn't been moved in the past 15 years, and it's really dirty. Tom's dream has always been to be able to own a camper, so Hope and I are going to help him clean this thing up so he can go on his first camping trip. So after looking at the camper for a little while, it's really not in that bad of condition. It's just really dirty. It has a bunch of algae and dirt on it. I mean, you can tell how long this thing has been sitting out for, so we're gonna try to clean it up really nice. We might end up painting it. The inside's really bad too. We're gonna go in there next and I'll show you guys how it looks. Tom said he had a pressure washer. It's a little used. To help clean the camper, we picked up some 30-second cleaner and sprayed it all over the camper to help break down the mildew, because it'll make it a lot easier to clean it. With just a little bit of pressure, it felt like we made an archaeological discovery. It was super satisfying to watch the dirt come off. Let the whole entire camper soak in 30-second outdoor cleaner, and it's supposed to come off really well. It came off the back really nicely, but on the side here, this stuff is just baked on. So we're gonna soak it again and then re-pressure wash it to try and get it off. If not, we're gonna have to, I don't know, maybe pull out a deck brush and start scrubbing. We had to rinse and repeat the same process a couple times to help get the mold and mildew off. We even had to pull out the deck brush, and as a team, my wife, Tom, and myself scrubbed the crap out of this camper until it was all cleaned up. It was kind of unbelievable to see the amount of dirt that was on this camper, but little by little, this thing started coming back to life, which was super satisfying. It's been about 2.5 hours and Tom is still at it. Some of the mildew is like really hard to come off, so we're gonna have to wash it one more time, but it looks so much better. I mean, look at this. I'll show you guys some before and afters at the end of this video. I think we're gonna do some painting as well because some of it looks pretty crappy, and we might wanna get these stickers off of here. They're like peeling off, but it looks much better, especially back here. Like I said, there's still a little bit of like stubborn mildew that like just doesn't wanna come off, but let's see how it ends up turning out. Now that the outside of the camper is nice and clean, we picked up some of this Rust-Oleum spray paint and we're gonna paint all the trim pieces. We checked all the caulking around all the trim pieces right here, and it seems like it's in really good shape, so we're not gonna replace it, but we wanna spray paint it black just to make it look a little more aesthetically pleasing. If some of you guys have watched my previous videos, you'll know that Tom is the guy who helped me build the tiny home gym in my backyard, so I want this to come out as nice as possible because the guy honestly deserves it. I've known Tom for a couple years now, and he's been there for me every time I've needed him. He also helps everyone out in the neighborhood, so this was the least that I can do to help him out. After masking off all the areas that we wanted to paint, we sprayed on some primer to help bond the black paint to the camper. I sprayed on a thin layer around the entire camper, then let it dry for a couple hours. Once the primer dried, we painted all the trim pieces with this gloss black. So this is the cover for the propane tanks, and if you guys remember earlier in the video how bad this thing looked, it looks much better. It looks pretty much brand new, but since we're painting all the other trim pieces black, we decided to just paint this black as well to try and make it look a little better. I sprayed the crap out of it with primer, then finished it off with some more gloss paint so it can match all the trim pieces. So we let the paint dry for a couple hours. Now we're gonna remove all the masking tape to see how it looks. It's crazy what a good scrubbing and a couple $100s of spray paint can do to a camper. I feel like this could be a good way to make some extra money by just buying a camper like this and cleaning it up, then reselling it. Outside of the camper is all cleaned up. Now we're gonna work on the inside. This thing is pretty freaking bad inside of here. There's a button for the slide. Is this the button right here?
Yeah, in and out.
Out.
It'll stop.
Our goal for this video was to help Tom just clean the outside, but after looking at the inside, we figured we'd help him scrub this thing because it was really bad.
Oh, look here. spray water in that pocket in there, the outside compartment, and it flooded in a little.
Some mice or rats decided to go live inside of the drawers of this camper, and the smell was something like I cannot even describe on camera, but I'm glad we got it cleaned up. We spent the next couple of hours vacuuming and scrubbing everything to the best of our ability. The amount of dirt that came off the inside was very similar to the amount of dirt that came off the outside, which was pretty crazy. Tom told me that one of the back windows had stayed open for the past 15 years, which makes a lot of sense how mice and a bunch of other bugs and dirt ended up getting in here in the first place. But we're gonna try to make it all better so Tom can take this thing out for a camping trip. I just got here this morning and it looks like Tom is already making a bunch of progress. He has the awning out and a bunch of stuff. I was hoping to help him out with this, but what the hell are you doing?
The bottom side of that mattress is good. I think we could just flip the mattress.
No.
No one will know.
That's funny. But we finished up painting and cleaning the entire outside. Obviously, Tom already got started. Looks like he has some flooring here that he's going to be replacing. And it's not too bad. We already did some cleaning, obviously, earlier in the video. It looks much better. It still smells terrible in here, but it does look much better. We're going to go ahead and replace the mattress, clean some windows, and let's see how this thing ends up turning out. Hopefully Tom can end up going on a camping trip with this thing soon. I got this kit on eBay that comes with all the things that you need to build an off-grid electrical setup. It came with a 200-watt solar panel, a Rover solar controller, a lithium battery, and a inverter. So we're gonna go ahead and get it all installed and see if it works. The original battery was on the tongue of this trailer, but we're gonna put the battery on the inside just so it doesn't get stolen and it's just gonna stay out of the elements. So we decided to put it inside of this compartment right here. It is really dirty, so we're gonna clean it first, but we'll also mount the inverter and the solar controller over here and then put the solar panel up top. After scrubbing the crap out of the compartment where we're gonna install the battery system, we pulled out a piece of plywood where we can have a mounting point for all the battery components. We picked up this off-grid electrical system from eBay, which is today's sponsor, and connected the negative and positive wires to the 20 amp Rover solar controller. Then mounted on the 1000-watt inverter, which has built-in Bluetooth, cooling fans, and short circuit protection. This inverter turns your 12-volt battery power into 120-volt alternating current, and does so in the most efficient way possible, consuming under 12 watts while it operates. It comes with everything you need, like the negative and positive wires that I'm connecting to the inverter, and it also comes with all the fuses needed to make sure you have proper safety. So once it gets delivered to your house, all you need to do is install it and you're good to go. The solar controller offers 4-stage charging and can do 12 and 24 volt systems, and also has a low temperature charging protection. The bottom line is that this is a fantastic deal if you want to get yourself an off-grid electrical system. They're having a 20% off store-wide sale. I'm going to link them in the description below, along with my 5% off discount code. So now that the back panel's on, we're gonna go ahead and install the lithium battery. This is a mini core lithium battery made by Renovating, and it's about half the size of the normal lithium battery, and it's also self-heating. So what we're gonna do next is install the negative and positive wire from the Rover solar controller to the battery, and then do the same thing with the inverter to the battery. Then we can go ahead and install our solar panel. Now that everything's hooked up, Tom's been working on the brackets so we can mount the solar panel. Let's go check up on him and see how it's going. Little disclaimer, Tom's an interesting guy. Mr. Tom.
Yep.
All right, so what do we got going on here? How's the brackets coming along?
They're coming. I gotta drill these holes first.
So Tom's making these types of brackets right here so we can make like a roof rack, and then we can mount the solar panel on top of the roof rack. And he, if you can see, he has a brand new drill thing. Lightly used.
Well, that bit's bent.
So, Tom, what are the odds of this being a perfect 90 degree?
Oh.
You got a square?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty crazy if it is perfect 90 degrees. All right, you ready? Moment of truth. Moment of truth. All right, it's rounded. Maybe we can go from this end. Oh,
Perfection.
Look at that.
Perfection.
Look at that. Perfect 90 degrees. Tom finished up with the brackets. Now we're gonna get them onto the roof so we can install the solar panel. I connected the brackets to the camper with these self-tapping screws, then brought up this metal pipe and connected it to both sides of the brackets. To make a roof rack, we did this twice and spaced them apart to the exact distance of the solar panels. I then connected the mounting brackets onto the 200-watt solar panel, then brought it onto the roof. This solar panel will keep the lithium battery nice and charged up, giving Tom a decent amount of off-grid power. But I then screwed the solar panel into the brackets that we installed, and just like that, the solar panel was installed. Now that the solar panel is installed, we need to run the wires from the solar controller to the solar panel. And normally we would bring it right out of the roof, but this roof, if you can see, is like soft. So there's not like a spot where we can go ahead and put our solar gland, which allows the wires to come through and not leak. So we're gonna just take the solar gland and put it on the side right here like this. And that'll just be like a solid mounting point where we can, you know, connect our wires to. It's not really the most ideal situation, but we're improvising and I think it's gonna work fine. I drilled a hole in the corner of the camper, then added a grommet so that the sharp metal doesn't cut up the wires over time. Then slid them into the camper and fed them down to the solar controller. I laid a bead of this construction adhesive onto the solar gland, then screwed it into the camper. I then laid another bead of adhesive around the entire gland, made sure it was tightened up, and connected the wires to the solar panel. We got the solar panel all hooked up, the electrical is all finished up, and the solar is charging the battery. The outside of the camper is nice and clean, it's painted. Tom's happy. He's gonna finish doing some work on the inside, and then hopefully he'll take his camping trip with it. I'll keep you guys updated.